people need to truly get involved with that. We have officials that needs to get involved with this stuff as well. We have officials that need to get involved with it. We're electing black people up in with the chief of police. We're electing black folks. They gotta look at this shit and be like, yo, okay, cool. I can look at our city. I can look at Baltimore. They all have a bunch of black leaders and a bunch of black politicians. It's like, okay, cool. I'm good. Can you help us out? Can we make this work? Cool. But at the end of the day, if you say, fuck these people, this and that, you got to look at yourself. Once again, look at yourself in the mirror and say, what can I do to make this better? Because when I look at these neighborhoods that I grew up in, there's some good people in these neighborhoods. But the 1% is fucking it up. And how do we figure that out? What we need to figure out is opportunity. What kind of opportunity can we give black folks to say, yo, you don't have to be out here slanging. You don't have to be out here shooting motherfuckers. Come do what you gotta do. Now, guess what? If you ain't about that, too bad, so sad. What the fuck can I do about it? My empathy can only go so far with that. I'm about opportunity. I'm about getting mine. I'm about making that money too. I'm about ownership as well. I want that shit just like everybody else do. But that's me. So do I represent black folks? No, I represent Chris. But this shit, y'all gonna make me do that. So I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it. So it's like, yeah, absolutely. They need to step up on that shit. Everybody do. These elected officials need to step up on that shit. Period. That's what they're there for. That's why we fucking vote. Everybody always talk about the voting. You can talk about black and white and all this shit. I'm talking about the S. We can talk about the B. We can talk about the W. Talk about the S. The fucking system. The system. The system ain't fixed, and the way it needs to be fixed for everybody to get opportunity, then it ain't gonna never happen. I'm not making no excuses. And people would say black people play the victim game. I don't play that victim game, but black people do too, and white people. Period. But don't play that shit. That shit got no fucking color. This shit that's going on with this virus, this shit is fucking universal. Everybody getting it. It ain't just you, but guess who getting it more? Black folks. But at the end of the day, yeah, people just gotta shut the fuck up. Like, you look, it's about that mirror. You take that mirror and you look at yourself and say, what can I do to do better? Because it starts with you. If you don't do better, nobody else around you gonna do better. I'm just a dude with a voice and opinions. I ain't no activist, I ain't no politician. I'm a musician. I make music and my music is positive, and that's what I speak on. So, absolutely. But we can't, we can look at statistics. We can look at how many deaths. I mean, there's a freaking war going on with GDs and Latin Kings because black folks stealing shit out of their neighborhood and they got boom. I'm like, guess what? Guess what? Y'all doing that shit ain't good. Because guess what? These people don't give a fuck about you. They want you to kill each other. And when you look at the statistics of how many people die in Chicago, it's mostly gang related. You think they give a fuck? We could talk about numbers and all these things, but at the end of the day, they don't care. And then somebody get caught in the crossfire. It sucks, and it's been that way. I've been out of the city since the early 2000s. I've mostly lived in suburbs and stuff like that. But that shit ain't different. It ain't different. That's the way it goes. But that shit needs to change. This is a new kind of vibe right now. It's a new kind of energy that's going on right now, and we need to harness that energy and keep building on it. Unfortunately, we're in a fucking pandemic, so we need to be staying our ass at home in quarantine. But I'm like, at the end of the day, yeah, everybody needs to step up, period. But these black folks out here, I got black friends, man. Severio, he come from an immigrant family. He came from shit. People call him an Italian nigga. But he came from shit to get to where he's at. So he know the struggle. We've been brothers for a long ass time. So it's like, yeah, like he understand that shit. His family been through stuff and they started from the ground up and made it. We all can. The one thing I can say that's not an excuse right now in this point in time is we got opportunity. I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is probably a controversial statement if I'm around other black people. It feels good to be a black man right now. The motherfuckers waking up and they listening. You see them old pictures of these cops spraying and beating the shit out of black folks. Look at the shit now. White folks are out there guarding black people, fighting for our rights. It's crazy. So if you don't tell me if you telling me that's not change, you silly. You ain't paying the fucking attention at all. I am. But black folks got to look at themselves in the mirror. Like, how do we make our community better? And we've been talking about this forever. Like, why do we leave? That's the question. I can't ask y'all, why do we leave? Why we leave our neighborhoods? Why do we leave our neighborhoods? Y'all don't know. But we have to make it better.
Chris,
I love being black. I love being who I am. I like me some black me. I like me being black. But I love people. I love everybody. You love me, I love you. But you got to step to the plate, man. Opportunity is there. We can break down the history books. We can look at statistics, and we can do all this shit. Yeah. Why don't it's a very, why don't people do that shit? Why don't people, we do marches here and there for gun violence and gang violence and all these other things, but we got to do more. But something about a man, an unarmed black man, getting his freaking knee, getting a knee jammed in his fucking neck for 8+ minutes, struck a chord. Now, if the death of that unarmed black man is the wake up fucking call, maybe these black folks are saying, yo, we got to get it together. Maybe these officials saying, yo, we got to get it together. If it takes that, then so be it. So be it. I feel bad for him. I wish he didn't die. I wish he didn't die. But maybe that's a symbol. I believe in symbolism. I believe that's a symbol. That's something for all of us to wake the fuck up. And if you don't want to wake the fuck up and you have your own opinions, that's good. This is America. We should always have our fucking opinions. You shouldn't think the way I think. I hope you think that we should be better. If we all say, okay, blah, 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 even if you like Trump, like you like Trump, he's like, yeah, no hold, yeah, man, he want to get shit done, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, cool. But everybody want to get shit done. Everybody wants something in this country. So you still got to look at that shit. I wouldn't want to be the fucking president. Fuck that, man. 4 to 8 years, and then I'm done. Like, F that. I want to make a lot of money and then do shit. I believe in science. I don't want no motherfucking viruses. I want to go out and kick it and hang out with people. And that's our fucking problem. This virus, if you believe in God, this is God saying, yo, I'm gonna put a virus on everybody. All y'all getting fucked up. So I don't know, man. Like, at the end of the day, I think you asked the question. I went into 20 different.
No, it's all good because
I get emotional. I just started talking.
No, I know how you get. So that's why.
Okay, but at the end of the day, we got to look at that shit because this is what I'm telling people. Layers. There's different layers going on. We have different layers. Everybody take their layer and they stick with that. But if you add this other layer, that layer might connect to that layer to say, okay, these two connect. When it comes to black folks, when it comes to the statistics of police brutality in black people, okay, that layer. When it comes to statistics of black on black crime and black folks, and their communities and stuff, put that layer together. How do we make that work? Okay, police brutality, boom, boom, boom. How do we make the cops? How do we figure out? How do we make this shit work, man? How do we figure out to get along where this makes sense? Because there's motherfuckers who do shit, who do dirt, and if they keep doing dirt, they're gonna get fucked up by a cop. And you're attacking that. That's one thing. That's one thing. So you take those layers and you just try to figure out, like, okay, how do we make sense of it? Because that's some shit. That's that 1% that's fucking everything up for me. Yeah. So we got to look at those. So you got to take all these different layers and understand. There's a lot of them too. You ain't gonna figure all this shit out. You can figure all these layers out. You got to take all these layers and figure out what makes sense. My relationship with people of color. That's another layer. Now we'll talk about that later. But I'm gonna talk about that cop. I'm talking about black folks. And then as far as like the things that's going on in our community, as well as things going on in our community within police being involved.
So
and officials having better communication with officials. Man, if y'all talking about we gotta vote, You gotta find the right fucking people to fucking vote for. That's gonna make shit make sense. That's it. So yeah, black folks got it's everybody buy a fucking mirror, and then you gotta keep looking at it and look at yourself in that mirror for 2 minutes and talk to yourself like, what can I do to be a better person? What can I do to do shit? And that's what I do. That's what you gotta do. You gotta count. You got a phone. You're looking at yourself right now. You say, what can I do to be better? That's what we gotta do. Black folks gotta look at themselves in the mirror. Everybody gotta look at themselves in the mirror. But that's that metaphorical, spiritual, artsy talk bullshit. We still got to vote, and we still got to put people in the right place. So, how the fuck can we get jobs? How the fuck can we make our shit cool? How the fuck can we make these schools not garbage and be better? Or how the fuck can we just can we go to the other schools that's better for us? Cool. I had to move to the suburbs to go to the good school because I was going to the shit schools. But what if I want to stay in these schools and make these better? So yeah, man, we get it. I get it. But we gotta do better. But we also gotta bring the right people up in here. And we can't bring black folks up in there. We can't bring black folks up in there and they're not helping black folks. If we want to single this shit out and just talk about the black folks, then that's what I'm gonna do. If y'all want to talk about universal, what about white people and blah blah blah? Cool, we'll talk about that too. We gotta look at ourselves in the mirror and say, how the fuck can we get better? Some of these people are hard-headed as fuck. And we saw that. And I'm straight up, they make us look bad. They make motherfuckers that's trying to get theirs too. We trying to get ours too. Everybody trying to get theirs. But we need to get we gotta get the right people in the right situations to make things work for us. But on the other side, we can't be twiddling our thumbs like, man, nobody fucking with us. You gotta do it. I don't look at people. I do my shit. I do what I gotta do. In a positive way. I pay my fucking taxes. I take care of my shit. I take care of my family. I do what I do. I grind. I'm a hustler. I am a hustler.
Chris, you got a question. Carrie, you had a question. I saw you had a little hand up.
Yeah, actually, I've been making some notes as we go along because that's just how I am. I had a few things here. First of all, you'd mentioned, making sure we get out the vote, get people to vote for change. And I don't know if any of you know about this, but there's an organization called Organizing Together 2000. And what they're putting together is people to be relational organizers, where you're basically reaching out to just the people you know and talking to them about, are you registered to vote? Do you know how to get an absentee ballot? What questions do you have about the candidates? Stuff like that. So, I mean, that's one thing that I completely agree with. If you take a look at the 2016 election, it wasn't third-party voters or Trump followers that lost the election. It was people didn't show up. So that's a huge part of it. The other thing you mentioned was that you feel like there's a big change in the air. And I'll tell you how that actually, I can see this happening in my own house. My husband was a cop for 17 years. And, we've had a lot of police-related shooting deaths that have gotten a lot of press and a lot of notice. And, a lot of times when my husband would look at these videos, having been trained, on these procedures and stuff, he'd be like, yeah, they're following procedure. That's what they're supposed to do. This is the first time that he looked at it and went, fuck, there is absolutely no excuse for that ever, ever, ever. So you hit that one head on. There's total change here. I think finally people are just getting to a point where they're like, oh shit, this is really bad. But I did have a question. I recently read a statement that said it was not enough to be not a racist, that to really help, you have to be anti-racist. How do you feel about that? And by that, I mean, like, it's very easy to say, no, I'm not a racist. I have black friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's the easy way to go.
And I used to believe that I was not a racist until I took the Harvard implicit bias testing, which is available on the internet. It turns out that without even knowing it, I'm implicitly biased against dark skin. So, yeah, I know that implicitly I'm racist. So how do I fight that? And that's what they're talking about, anti-racist. I mean, would you agree with that statement, or what do you think of those concepts?
Well, I've had this conversation with my wife, who is white. My wife is Caucasian. I've known her since 2007. We've been together since 2012. And we have a two-year-old son. So I have to go, I have to deal with a lot of that. I don't really have to deal with a lot of that stuff because, we're in an interracial relationship. But my wife is very, 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 very passionate about, the cause and equality. And I am too. I just don't get too caught up in it because I'm always like focused on what I need to do to keep going. Systematic racism is something that's been going around obviously a lot now in or systemic racism, whatever you want to call it, going around and now in social media. And there's people who's just blatant white people that just straight up say, all white people are racist, straight up. And then they broke down what it means, and it means like, from what I've gathered, it's within you and your ancestry and and how your ancestors were and them owning slaves and all these other things. So that automatically make you racist. Now, I've been learning a lot more about the whole term racist. Racist and prejudice is two different things. Like, I personally can't be racist. I can be prejudiced, but I can't be racist. I think it's more of things that honestly, a lot of things is within your environment. I can look at the philosopher Skinner. I don't know his first name, but Skinner was like, your mindset is, and this is not me quoting him, but he's like, your mind. This is me saying what I think he was saying. It's like your mindset is more in tune with your environment. Where you grew up and who you surrounded yourself with was the result of like, okay, this is who I know. These are the people that I see. So when you don't, what bothers me is when people say I have black friends. I'm like, cool. I'm happy for you. Like, you want an award because you got a black friend? Just don't tell me. Say you got friends. It's easy. It's easy to just say that because I got friends. I don't say I got a lot of white friends. I got a lot of Hispanic friends. I'm like, I got friends because I'm like, cool, I got friends. But white people like, yeah, I got friends. There might be some prejudice. I mean, there might be some things where you're like, I don't know how I feel. Or there might be some, honestly, look at me. I got this grizzly beard. I'm wearing all black. I got pink on though. See, like that. I got pink on. I always say, oh, he look creepy, but he cute. He got a little pink on. So he ain't that bad. But you see me walking down the street, your mindset is pretty much like, you might be like, I don't know about this guy. I might go on the other side. So systemically racist or whatever, that people thinking like, okay, I got my family tree inside my brain and say, oh, I don't trust the black people, blah, blah, blah. So your mindset, shit, I might walk across the street when I see you. So I don't know. I get freaked out when there's all white people around me, and then I look around and I see one black person. I'm like, whew, okay, I'm good. I'm trying to be funny though. I'm like, get out. Oh no, but yeah, I don't. Do I believe it? Is there such thing as anti-racist? I mean, is that a thing to like kind of focus your brain on saying why I can't be racist? It's tough. It's tough because it's nothing you can control of what happened 400 years ago, 100 years ago, whatever, within your family. If you look into your ancestry and if you got family members that was this and that and they own slaves, or you could have family members. I mean, what's your nationality? Mackenzie. So
Scottish, German, Dutch.
Okay, German, but Scottish. I mean, Scottish, man. It was some.
Oh yeah, the
like Irish,
18th century Scotland was.
Yeah, it was like people don't talk about it, but that was white slaves exist. There was white people that was getting their shit handed to them as well. Nobody gonna talk about that. But
Well, I
you can
think
look at
I think the thing that they're looking at by saying the word anti-racist is, instead of the casual, no, I'm not a racist, more of the, I want to do something to stamp out racism.
right.
That being
But
the end goal, not enough to just say, no, I'm not racist.
exactly. Oh, absolutely. And to be honest with you, I think I've been hearing that a lot in the last couple of weeks about anti-racists. Because I don't really watch the news at all. I try not to get caught up in stuff like that. But obviously I've been watching the news religiously with everything that's been going on. With the anti-racism, it's like, yeah, you can try to do your best you can, but it's your mind. You don't. It's only you can control your mind and have some type of discipline with the things you think about. But sometimes you can't. You honestly you can't. Guess what? I'm not scared of police. I'm scared of people. I'm a bike rider. I'm out in the open. I'm scared of people. I'm not gonna lie. If I see a fucking pickup truck with an American flag, big ass American flag on it, it makes me nervous. I'm not gonna lie to you. A cop don't make me nervous. I'm not. My mindset don't think that way. I don't think like, oh damn, I've been harassed by police. I've had my stories. We don't have to talk about it now. Maybe that might be another thing we talk about. Severe. You know, you're the what's the word I'm thinking of? The moderator. But I have I think every black person have their own experience with police. But as far as like racism or whatever, I go back to the mirror. I go back to you looking at yourself in the mirror and say, what can I do for 2 minutes? Like, what can I do to be a better person? You're gonna have that mindset. You may have that mindset in things you see, things you observe, and having a conversation with somebody. I'm just one man. I'm just one person. I'm just one black person out of the other 6% of black men that's in this country. So my mindset is different from somebody else. Because you can look at me and trust me and have a conversation. But if you want to give me a chance to have a conversation with you, then your mindset might be different. Like, okay, I like him. He's cool. But somebody else, you be like, I'm not feeling that. Appearance is freaking huge. I was gonna come up here with a nice collared shirt and be like, hi, hi, I'm Chris. How you doing? Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to you. I'm like, no, I wear hoodies. I own like 20 hoodies. Severia know me, so he know what the deal is. So it's like, your mind, man, we could break down statistics and psychological shit. Look at yourself in the mirror. It starts with you. Until you start making yourself better, you can't make anybody else better. So you gotta look at yourself in the mirror and say, what can I do better to make things make sense?
And Chris,
for me to not feel the way I'm feeling. You're gonna feel the way you feel regardless. Just try to do better. I mean, that's all you can do.
And so, Chris, you touched on a couple things, which it's like you remember the questions because you segue into it. So you mentioned the, hey, I got black friends shit, right? And, I think, so you're right. I'm an immigrant here, right? This is all brand new. So when I came to the United States, I knew what I knew. And how I learned was I immersed myself in different cultures, right? So like when I met your brother, Bird, and we became best friends, and then I met you all, and now, we all go out and hang out and have a good time, and it doesn't, to your point, it's friends. I don't look at Chris as my black friend, but I had to do that today because for me to hear and have this conversation, come on, what the fuck am I going to say, right? I'm the white European from in America, and my parents build a business, so it's like, well, outside of what happened to Dad, everything was pretty slick, right? So I had to take that back in a second, and I think what happens is there's this thing called white guilt, and you touched on it when it came to ancestry. A lot of white folks now feel guilty for what their ancestors did. It's built into their I guess the weave into their bloodline. And when they come and see injustices and stuff, they're like, I gotta do more. I gotta get involved. But you and I had a conversation, I remember on chat with me, you and Corey and Reggie and Eric and Scrap about but they could carry the picket signs. They could go on Facebook and post and talk all that shit. But when they go home white. And because they go home white, they're still part of that system that's catered to them. And, and remember what Corey said, right? So
yeah.
I don't want to rehash. But and I think that's where we're at now is, I think as opposed to, I heard the dude from WGCI, he said it best. He goes, what do we want from white supporters? We want them to shut up. It's our turn to talk, and it's your turn to listen. Listen to our struggles. Listen to what's going on. Don't just come out here and think it's the liberal thing to do or the right thing to do or the cool thing to do, then go home to your safe zone, right? As we were talking. Come here and listen. And as you've said out many times, look in the mirror. And that's my question is, you as Chris Shern, when you see what's going on and you see the white supporters going out there, does the agenda of, is this liberal white guilt, or do these people actually care? What do I want out of that other culture that, you know, or the other half of your family, what I want out of them as a black male in America today?
I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Besides the chaos and the looting and stuff like that, and I've made that loud and clear that I don't approve of that, and a lot of people don't approve of that. If George is George, God, what's his last name?
Floyd.
That's not huh? Judge Floyd. Jesus Christ, I don't know. My brain just went up. If George Floyd brother saying, yo, I appreciate the support, but stop the violence, stop the looting, stop, you know, let's try to have a peaceful protest and get our point across. You know, I believe in that because I think we need that. And I understand. And I've had white folks come at me when I said that. It's like, yo, man, this is about the oppression of black people and blah, 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 blah. And then that's when I get frustrated. Cause I'm like, what do you know about oppression? What do you know about struggle, man? Like, why are you telling me how I should feel and say we shouldn't be looting, we shouldn't be doing this and that? I get you support, but there's people who's out there getting them bullets, them rubber bullets popped in them, getting that smoke in their face and putting themselves out there in the midst of a pandemic. I give them all the kudos in the world. I give them all the kudos in the world. But these folks on social media quoting Martin Luther King and saying this and that, and then I'm arguing with somebody telling me we shouldn't be looting and doing that stuff. Ain't a white dude. I have a problem with that. Because it's like, okay, dude, I mean, you realize what you're fighting for, right? But if I'm telling you, like, you know, yeah, I don't believe in violence. I don't believe in. I get it. You know, sometimes you gotta smack somebody in the face in order to get their attention. I get that. I get it. But at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff escalated even thicker, not just because of this. Because of this was the tip of the iceberg. But we're in a pandemic, and we got 40 million people out of work, and people are frustrated and angry, and it's hot in the summertime now. So people getting frustrated. My balance of improvement is there. I love what white folks is doing for us. Because you know what that's telling me? That's saying, yo, they give a shit. They care. There's people that give a shit. And there's people who will give a shit for a month and then you don't see them no more. There's social media, there's social media people that give a shit, and there's people that's out on them streets sacrificing. They seriously sacrificing their lives because we got a virus out there that's fucking with everybody. So yeah, I support them. I support them 100%. And then but that's once again, we got these different layers, man. We got all these different layers going on. That's another layer. You got the people that's out there on the streets supporting, and then you got that. Because guess what? There's 13% of us. There's 50% of you. So if we got a lot of y'all helping us out, it makes us look even better. It's like, goddamn, there's a lot of people out here. You know, the protest, a motherfucker standing in the house, there wasn't that many people. The black people were supporting that because they was having house parties. we selfish, man. We want a party. It wasn't that many people for those protests. I'm sorry. We want a haircut. I'm pissed off. But it's like, yeah. So it's like, yeah, the black folks were having a party. The black folks were having a party. So they're like, no, dude, we going over here. They got some Alizé and some Hennessy. We doing that shit 95 style. So with this protest, the white folks like, yo, they like black people, man. They like our music. Because all these kids are 20-something years old. They don't give a fuck about no virus. They like, my immune system, I can bench press 50,000 pounds. I don't give a fuck. That's what they're saying.
Right.
I'm saying I'm 41 years old and I have a 2-year-old child and I've been quarantined for 2.5 months. I'm staying my ass in the house and I see what's going on. It's a beautiful thing. It is. It really is. I give a shit. Trust me. I shed tears for this stuff. But I care about what they're doing. And then people who, but people who question me and they're not who I am and been through what I've been through, I have a hard time with that. So you got to look at the balance. You got to look at once again, get back to the layers. We at the mirrors and we at the layers. And that's two different layers. That's two layers right there. So I support them people getting their ass handed to them and out there supporting us and people who, want to be social media protesters. I mean, cool, man. You can do the fuck you want. Nobody telling you can quote Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Billie Jean, Michael Jackson, Prince, Purple Rain, me. I don't give a fuck. Cool. Put your fists up, put your blackout poster out. Cool. I still gotta live. I still gotta get up and eat and get my ass to work. I care. I love my country. I love being black. I love white people. I love white people that give a shit about us. I respect cops. There are some shitty cops out there, and they deserve to fucking fry. What y'all saw out. Here's the thing. I don't give a fuck. I mean, honestly, man, and I've seen some fucked up shit from like racist white people. They had the fucking George Floyd fucking challenge with people having their knees on their necks. That's disgusting. But there's people who may be trying to practice anti-racism, looking at they're like, oh, that's fucked up. That's not right. That's not right. And I think that is the change. I think that's truly the change that we may have to open up the conversation even more, to make you think like, damn, like, wow, just like that, they can do that. Like, shit, that's really fucked up. That was really bad. That was really bad. And people who may not be racist, but they might like, oh, and then they saw that, they like, holy shit, that was not right. And everybody knew that.
Yeah.
For whatever for a $20 bill, or he was high on something, we all high on something. Fuck out of here. We all taking pills and shit and doing stuff. You don't get your neck stomped on for that at all. So yeah, we all thinking like, okay, that was tough to watch. But when you see these folks out here, and ain't just white people, I mean just black people, that's love to me. I'm all about unity, man. Maybe I'm the wrong. I may sound I may sound black as hell, but I ain't that black. I love people. I mean, I love people. I watch Seinfeld. But I don't know, yeah. No, I'm just, yeah. I love what's going on.
It's like
I think it's a beautiful thing, you know.
So, Chris, I'm gonna open up the question now because you answered all mine, and then some I didn't have, so we're good. So, what I'm gonna ask for the people on here, put the little hand thing up if you know how to do it, and this way we're not talking over each other. So, anybody have any questions? Damn, you got to love everybody, man. Oh, no, we got a Karen. Not a Karen, the Karen.
I don't know how to put the little hand thing up, but I have my regular hand. Chris, how do you think Lori Lightfoot is doing as far as like handling the riots and, in Chicago? I mean, like as far as directing police and, placating people, like, do you think that she's doing a good job, or do you think that she leaves something to be desired?
She need to do better. I don't want to see 30 cops on the north side with 13 white people sitting on the curb because they want to break curfew and then they get arrested. But then you go in Hyatt Park, deep in Hyatt Park on the south side, and people looting up stores and nobody there to stop them. Yeah, I have a problem with that. But that's been the problem. It ain't just, when we look at police, we look at police brutality. We can look at, cops beating the shit out of black people, but you can also look at like when black people like, yo, something's going on. Can y'all come here? And then 30 minutes later, they show up. That's a problem. I have a problem with that. I live in Aurora, so it's like I don't live in Chicago, so I'm not in the midst of all of that. But I think she's trying to do the best she can. And to be honest with you, what else can you? This is history in the making. Guess what, y'all? We're all in the history books. Because when Naperville get looted, when you got rich white kids looting Naperville, shit hit the fan. So everybody's feeling this. Everybody's feeling this. So Chicago's a big city. Chicago got a lot of shit going on. I know a lot of people was mad at her about the quarantine and how, people were still staying at home. But this is not a joke. And people losing their jobs and all this stuff, you can put the blame on a lot of different elements on that. I don't know if this virus had a chance to not come here, to be honest with you, because everybody got it. The world got it. This had shit to do with the United States. Got something to do with everybody. So there's only so much you can do when it comes to these people. Now, I could talk about Trump, and then some things I can say, hey, maybe you could have did this better or did this better, but he keep digging a fucking grave. So I'm not even talking about him. but when it comes to, and that's my opinion. People might think differently, and that's fine. But I think she's trying to do the best she can. But at the end of the day, once again, when you got 30 cops being around 13 white people sitting down because they breaking curfew, compared to people looting, stealing shit, and nobody's over there, then what does that tell you? Then what does that say? I mean, I don't know what that says. It's the same shit. It's the same shit we see all the time. That's a situation where the cops need to be there. Period. Not on the north side of Chicago with 13 white people sitting down saying, "Oh, it was our $500. Put us in jail for like 24 hours, get our $500 fine." Motherfuckers out here stealing and all this other shit. So, yeah, I mean, being the mayor of Chicago sucks. It's not a job I want. But people look at her. She's a black woman. She's a lesbian. That's different. So we look at that and it's like, okay, but man, she already got the Don King due. So so she can't after your hair is raised up because you're going through some shit. I don't think any of us, if anybody had that job, what can you do better? That's the thing. Let me ask you. Let me ask you, Karen. Your real last name is Solidarity?
You're muted, Karen. Okay. You're muted.
Sorry, my real last name, no.
Oh, okay. Why you say solid? What that mean? Solidarity? Like, what do you mean, Karen Solidarity?
Originally, I changed my name when Facebook was trying to force trans people to use their birth names instead of their chosen names, and so I changed, I changed my last name to something that was not really my last name in solidarity with people who were trying to change their names to something that Facebook didn't want.
Oh, okay. All right, so let me ask you. So what do you think? What do you think? Do you think she's doing a good job, or do you think, she's not getting a fair shake because she got to deal with a pandemic and a riot and protests and looting?
I don't know. I mean, I think that you're right. She's probably doing the best she can, but I know that there's a lot of people who feel like she's just sort of placating people and just sort of saying things that they want to hear, and then, you know, the whip comes down and the cops are, you know, deployed strangely, and that it's all sort of like look at the left hand so that you don't see what the right hand is doing, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Who does she sound like?
Who does she sound like?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who does she sound like to you?
A politician.
Oh, well, all right.
Yeah, she gonna spit that Santa Claus shit on you, and then take your toy with the other hand. If you wanna break it down, like Santa Claus real. Your shit. She gotta say that. She gotta do what she gotta do. I don't know everything. I don't know all of the. I mean, I pay attention, and she got funny ass memes. But being a Chicago mayor is tough as hell. The best mayor in my lifetime in Chicago, and I was 7 or 8 years old, was Harold Washington. That's why they got a library named after him. That was the greatest mayor in Chicago, period, in my opinion. I love that man. I was 7, 8 years old and I gave a shit about him. So it's tough. I mean, it's probably more tough now than it was 30 years ago. But she got handed some shit, and I don't know what else she could have really done. I'm not the mayor. I would heavily patrol more of the inner cities at that point, because you know they're gonna get hit hard. Now, granted, they did some detours and hit them damn high-end stores downtown and fuck some shit up as well. But you also got to look at the protests, and then and then people burning shit and breaking shit. I mean, I don't know how many cops is in Chicago, and I don't know if I don't know if you thinking about the handling of this or handling of the pandemic as well. Like, what is your thought? Is this like the overall thing? Her just handling everything that's going on in Chicago?
I think she's been handling the pandemic really well. I think that, you know, it's just, she's been doing the best she can. She got dealt a hell of a hand at the beginning of this administration. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, but I think the pandemic has been going as well as she can. And then I guess I think that she's doing the best she can with the riots as well. But you're right. There's not, like, who's going to do better? What can you possibly do? And she is a politician, so she's got to say, you know.
Oh yeah, she's going to say we need to unite. We're going through some hardships, but we need to get this figured out. And she need to talk to honestly, they're mad because Chicago go through this shit all the time. So yeah, we can look at statistics and all these other things, man, but not everything's documented. You know what I'm saying? So that, I mean, and people feeling that. And you know what? We got people who's mad and we got people who's opportunists. When they like, oh, cool, we about to get some shit done. And they're gonna be like this. So I don't know. The thing I want people, I think people, and I'm the same way. I don't got the answers. I don't. Nobody really has the answers. But we need to ask questions to try to get some kind of answers, and really try to understand what we can really do. I mean, when it comes to that, I think when it comes to ensuing the chaos, a lot of people, things that we was talking about. If we need to get the military up in our country, something's going on. Like, we ain't doing something right, where we can't get this figured out and then this figured out. I personally believe, these cops need to have conversations with people. They know who the leaders are. They know who the protest leaders are. You need to have conversations, because these people are the people who organize these protests. And they just say, yo, let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Now, how do we figure this out? We want y'all to protest. We want y'all to be peaceful, because for the most part, it gets that. And then you get the people who come, the opportunists, people come in and they start fucking shit up. And it's like, what can you really do? You ain't Batman. You ain't got that freaking thing where you can see everything that's going on. I remember Batman. Remember Dark Knight? when he got them glasses and
Lawrence Fishburne.
and then Morgan Freeman like, no, Batman, we can't do that, man. We can't do that, Batman. You know, because, you know, Morgan Freeman got that voice. It's like, I got them glasses, see how these motherfuckers. Like, we can't do that. I mean, we can. We got the technology for that. But there's only so much. She could only be somewhere else. But she can't say, oh, shit. Well, we all gonna die. She gotta say something. She gotta say, we're gonna rise up and we'll get through this. She do. So no one can say it now. That's why I can't be the mayor. I'm like, we all gonna die. Kill all these motherfuckers. How you still in Jordans and you got Jordans on? Come on, man. You ain't that broke. You know, black people always like, you know what, here's the thing about black people. As poor as we are, we always look better than white people. White people wear like a toed up tie-dye, and they got like $80 million in their damn account. I was like, what?
Low bar, dude. Low bar.
Yeah, I'm just being stupid. Anyway, I'm funny. I like to make jokes. I don't want to be all serious and get all like aggressive with stuff. But to answer your question with Lightfoot, she can do the best. She's doing the best she possibly can. Because I think she was doing a hell of a job with the pandemic. People need to stay their ass at home. Because guess what? Numbers were going down. People, we love numbers. As much as I hate math, we love numbers. We love statistics. Oh shit, it went down 20%. I'm going to the beach. Fuck that, I'm staying home until somebody put some drugs in me and say, yo, you good. You ain't gonna be the Walking Dead. So until that, I'm chilling.
I got another question for you.
Yeah,
Chris.
so we're good on that.
Carrie got another question. Go ahead, Carrie.
Okay, there I am. So, Chris, I've got a little bit of this is kind of I've got a little bit of a weird background here that I want to tell you about. I went to high school and spent my high school and middle school, high school, and college years in Barrington, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a bit older than you.
Well, how old are you? How old
56.
are you?
56.
I mean, you're enough to be my teenage mother. What are you talking about?
There you go.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody on here except maybe Iris up there, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, I am old enough to remember that when Walter Payton moved to Barrington, none of the country clubs would let him join.
Right.
So, you know, that's like they imported a black family from Rockford, the Persons, to come and live in Barrington so their sons could play basketball for my high school.
Right.
You know, that's the bullshit. I now, like, if you went out of my house and you went to the next street, you'd be in zip code 53206 here in Milwaukee. Milwaukee being the most segregated city in the nation, physically. And 53206 has the highest percentage of incarcerated men in any zip code, incarcerated black men in any zip code anywhere in the nation.
What is it? What city
I'm in
is
Milwaukee.
This in? Oh, you're
in Milwaukee.
Okay.
And I live in I would say that our neighborhood, like the little neighborhood I'm in, is probably 60% white and 30% black and 10% other.
Okay.
But you just go a few houses across the street and you're in the zip code that has like I said, the highest percentage of incarcerated black men in any zip code in the country.
Right.
Milwaukee is physically insanely segregated. It's known as the most segregated city in the country as well for that reason. Mm-hmm. In your opinion, what would be the best thing that I could do to really help support my neighborhood at this time, which is relatively integrated? What are some things that I could do to try to bring people together?
Have conversations. That's it. I mean, you got to talk to them. You got to get to know somebody. You got to get to know somebody and understand where they're coming from. I mean, did you just post numbers don't lie, people do?
Yep.
Okay. So I know people would talk about the statistics of how many how many black men are incarcerated compared to how many white men, and then when you compare the number of, there's 6% black men, 13% black people, 6% black men, and then we're 50% of people that's incarcerated. Now we can go back on that, and we can also look at, even though they committed a crime, what was the crime they committed? Because you can look at numbers, but you can look at what did they do? Did all of them sell drugs? Did all of them kill somebody? Did all of them do this and that? Do all of them got speeding tickets? Do they got DUIs? Let's look at this. If you want to look at numbers, look at the paperwork and why and look at the statistics of why they in jail.
Because well, in Milwaukee County, it's disproportionately marijuana arrests.
There you go.
Marijuana is not legal.
Maybe you don't smoke weed, but do you think that's bullshit? Like somebody for that?
Oh yeah, I'm very 420 friendly.
There you go. We're gonna hang out one day because I play shows in Milwaukee.
Nice.
I won't wear my black hoodie. I wear my pink shirt.
You can wear your black hoodie. I sent you a message about a song called "With a Hoodie On." So, dude, you're fine.
But yeah, I am a huge advocate of the marijuana. So when you look at statistics, because this goes back to black people getting targeted. So when you look at the statistics, if I'm smoking a joint, and where's Dan? Anybody else here? I don't see faces.
Dan's there somewhere.
Dan, you're here.
Okay. Now, if Dan is smoking a joint and I'm smoking a joint, who you think gonna get in trouble quicker? Smoking a joint. Let's be realistic. Guess what? When you say numbers don't lie, people do. Let's talk about people. If somebody look at let's okay, here we go. Going back to the layers. So now we got statistics of black men incarcerated, and we got racism. We got racism or anti-racism. So when we look at that, you're gonna look at the situation, and especially if it's a white man, if you look at the situation, if I'm smoking a joint and Dan's smoking a joint, who you think gonna get in trouble the most? Oh shit, that's when that racism kicking in. Oh no, my ancestors in my brain. I'm gonna take the black guy away. So when you look at that, you got to look at the situation why they getting locked up. People getting locked up for some stupid shit. We all done some dirt. Let's not kid ourselves. So when we look at that, then you got to look at the situation. Now, if the statistics say all these motherfuckers killed people and they sold some drugs or whatever, then that's when you just like, seriously, that's what happened. You know, that's fucked up. That's what happened. That's fucked up. But when somebody's selling weed, like what? DUIs ain't good, but like, yeah, you can get locked up for that shit. In public intoxication. Oh yeah, fuck it, shit. You know, damn. He caught me drunk outside.
They never get you for public intoxication in Wisconsin. We're a whole state of drunks.
Yeah. Check this out. I play shows in Wisconsin 6 times a year. I go to Manitowoc, I go to Milwaukee, and I go to Madison. And you heard of Manitowoc? Those motherfuckers is just kicking it. I think they got tubes and they like, oh, we can get drunk. We're gonna do our shit because we got shit to do. And then I'll talk about that documentary that happened. They're like, don't talk about that shit. Let's drink. Got some Busch Light.
In Wisconsin, if your blood alcohol limit isn't higher than your age or higher than your age, you might have a problem. We like that. Getting drunk is part of our culture.
But check this. Yeah, but guess what? It's part of your culture. Now, if a black man getting like that, and then a cop see that, he probably gonna get his ass whooped and going to jail. And then there you go. He got that record that adds the numbers, and the people adding them numbers. So when you say numbers don't lie, people do. Those people adding them numbers, and they're making that shit. So you're right. I mean, people don't lie either. They putting that shit in there. All right, we're gonna put these things up, but you know what? People do lie. What did he do? What did he do? Oh, he was smoking. He had a bunch of weed. No, he had a joint. Cause that shit happens, and we know that. And that's when that racism and that racism kicks in and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, can I do better? or whatever, but you need to have conversations with people. You need to get to know your neighbor if you feel like you can do that. You can't have block parties. You can't have anything right now because we're social distancing. But if you really want to know people, know people. I want to know people. I want to get to know people. Honestly, I'm a hybrid. I'm an introvert and an extrovert. I don't know all my neighbors. I'm a homebody. I like to chill in the crib, but I'll talk your ear off if you want me to. We'll have conversations straight up. If I come to Milwaukee, we getting blunted. But I smoke the healthy stuff. I smoke the stuff that's clean. I don't smoke no blunts. But get my fingers all brown like.
I'm so old, I don't even know what the fuck that means.
You don't know what getting blunted up means? Seriously? They were saying that in the 60s. What are you talking about? We didn't make shit up. We take everything from the 60s.
Nobody ever said that in Barrington. Nobody ever said that in Barrington.
Check this out. So you talk to a black person and they smoke weed, say, yo, you want to get blunted up? And you do this. So you don't get blunted. All right. But anyway, have conversations with people. Talk. That's it. Just talk. Just try to say hi. You know, how you doing? And just start a conversation. You know how many people start conversations? I live in Aurora and it's predominantly Hispanic, but my neighborhood is like Hispanic, black, white, I think maybe some Europeans, some I don't know if they're Hispanic or Arab. I have a freaking rainbow in my neighborhood. Those are the best neighborhoods in the world. You're surrounded by so many different people. So I've been unemployed for a couple of months because they closed down my son's daycare. So I was his daycare provider. So I'm outside, you know, I'm social distant. I'm outside hanging out playing with my kid and stuff. And people always walking their dogs and all that stuff. And there's people I don't know, you know, that I've been living in my neighborhood for 5 years, and we just spark a conversation. And then she said, hey, it's great day. Like this person, guy, like, it's a great day out there. It's like, yeah, it's nice outside. It's good to be out for a little bit. And then you have this 2-minute conversation with that person. You're like, cool. Now, I don't know, and you're probably not going to have it this year, but I don't know if y'all had any like events. Like in my neighborhood, we have this event in July it's a meet and greet where we meet our people in our community, in our neighborhood. And then we have conversations with them. You know, people will bring out refreshments and all that stuff, and that's cool. I don't know if they do stuff like that with that, but at the end of the day, just talk to people. Just say, hey, just spark a small conversation. Man, you smoke weed, so you know how to. So you can like, what's up? You know how to talk to people. It eases your mind, man. Smoking weed eases your damn mind. It makes you more relaxed.
I don't think anybody on here would say that I don't know how to talk.
So you talk, right?
But our Wisconsin summers has been canceled, so fuck it. Yeah, I actually my undergraduate degree is in broadcast communications, so yeah, I can talk. Okay, right. Okay, so with you, Perry, you got the skills right off the bat to have conversations. You communicating with people, so you already have conversations with people. All you need. There's a lot of introverts. There's a lot of people who talk with their eyes, and maybe, like I said, people who are maybe racist or whatever. I'm not stupid, man. When somebody just looking at you, they're talking to you in some way. Mm-hmm.
They're probably not talking to you in a nice way, but they're not gonna say shit to you. But if you're curious and you want to get to know people, that's all you need to do. If you just have a conversation with somebody, just talk. This stuff don't need to be complicated. I simplify the fuck out of things as much as I possibly can. I try not to go and like, well, you know, in 1865 when someone did this, I'm just like, I just speak from my heart, and then things just come out, and I just keep going through these different emotions. I speak like I'm passionate and I'm emotional about what I'm saying, and I'm going through my experience. How do I meet people? I talk to people. I play in a band. I make music. So afterwards, I need to have conversations with these people, or they'll come to me, and I'm like, cool, we talking. I'm like, cool. By the way, you want a T-shirt? All right, $25. You know, so I'm a salesperson. I have to talk to people. I'm the singer. I have to be up there and perform in front of people so they see me, and then we have conversations, and then yeah, I cool. Afterwards, we have a conversation, and then I talk. I talk to anybody. I'll talk to anybody that want to talk to me. If you don't want to talk to me, cool. There's a billion people in this world. You ain't gonna please everybody. But at the end of the day, I mean, you just gotta. If you're curious, and say, I just want to talk to people. I just want to get to know people and get to know people that ain't white. I just want people to understand with everything that's going on in this country and right now. You just have. Some people just kind of like go on their merry way, and some people's like, what can I do better? What can I do to help black people or this and that? It's like, we don't want your help. We want you to just listen. We want you to talk to us. Like I don't want no handout from you. I don't want you to pat me on the head and say, hey man, everything's gonna be okay. We're good. I like you. Like, just talk. If you ain't feeling what they talking about, then move on. I do. If I ain't feeling what you're talking about, then kick rocks. But if we cool, then let's have a conversation. I think me and you will get along great.
I have no doubt of that, and I think we could do some serious damage at a bar together too, probably.
Oh yeah. Oh, as far as what? I can't drink that good. If somebody say I drink you under the table, I'm like, well, get your ass under the table, I'm going home. I drink to get buzzed.
You can vouch for that.
I'm a type 2 diabetic, so I'm trying to be smart with my health. I drink like when I go to Severe House, he give me the heavy shit. So I drink like 2 of those, and then we on the couch watching we'll be watching like John Wick 4 or some shit. Pass on the recliner.
Steve watching Chappelle the other time. But we also smoked. Yeah. And our wives just start talking, and you and I are asleep in the couch.
Yeah, I think we was watching The Room.
I don't remember. I was high as shit.
No, I think it was John Wick. But yeah, but anyway, but Carrie, talk to people. That's it. I mean, if you're curious, have a conversation with people. Just say, hey, I want to get to know you. You know, small talk. You just want to get to know that person. You're not gonna. I think it's just human nature. You're not gonna be everybody's friend. And if you in an environment that you're surrounded, I mean, Carrie, how many black friends do you have?
I couldn't count. I can't count that high off the top of my head.
So you have a lot of black friends?
Yeah.
It was on her Facebook.
Well, shit. What the? Oh, I'm thinking you don't have any black friends. Well, shit, you good?
No. Oh, I do.
Somebody asked me the same question. They got black friends. What the hell? That's what I was here for, right?
I was just, that is a very common thing that I think a lot of white people think is that, oh gosh, I have a black friend, so therefore I'm not racist. In my case, I'm living in the most integrated neighborhood I've ever lived in, and I don't know most of my neighbors. That really bothers me.
Well, can you bake? You look like you can bake.
Oh, hell no.
You can't
I
bake?
I cook, but I don't bake. I'm more.
Hey, bake something with a little something in it and say, hey, neighbor.
What, do you think I live in Chicago where I can just get that shit anywhere? Come on, man.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Wisconsin, but, well, no, but, yeah, get to know your neighbors. Just have a conversation with them. I mean, to be honest with you, just like you look like you're comfortable having a conversation with somebody. So just go for it.
We got 10 minutes left. We got enough for one more question. And if Chris, because you'd love to go on them tangents, bro. So we'll have one more question if there is one.
Yeah.
If not, I guess we could wrap it up. Any other questions? You're off the hook, bro. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you doing this for me.
Well, I got one more thing to say.
Oh, make it 8 minutes and we good. You got 8 minutes.
All right, I'm not gonna go that long. So I think at the end, well, hey, you wanted people. I thought I was the guy that's gonna be talking the most. I'm sorry for nobody else didn't get a chance to talk. I thought I was just. I'm sorry. Did I fuck up?
No, you're good. This is not work. Motherfucker, do whatever you want to say. This is an open forum.
If anybody got something to say, then that's fine. You know, I mean, I think people have some questions here and there, but I mean, I think at the end of the day, we've come so far, and yet we have so far to go. And I think we just got to look at each other. First of all, look at ourselves in the mirror and say, what can we do better? And it doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are, how, you know, whatever. I think we just got to look at ourselves and how do we make this world, and it's cliche as fuck, but it's how do we make this world a better place? How do we make ourselves better? How do we make people around us better? How do we build friendships? How do we, you know, rekindle old friendships? How do we build, you know, relationships with cultures and races and people and everything? So just be mindful. Like I think one thing we all can agree on, I think we can be better. That's it. Just be a better person. Hey, do anybody got anything to say? Because I don't, you know, like I said, I don't, if somebody got any thoughts or anything, just, you know, say it. But I'm good. But just be thoughtful, just be caring. Just be a caring person.
And that's kind of our thing. We want to be a better version of ourselves.
Right.
So
and if we talking about, you know, black people and me and the cause and what was going on, yeah, we gotta be better. But the things around us have to be better as well. I mean, when we talk about police brutality, it ain't something that's made up. It's there. These things happen. And once again, not everything is documented. You know, I can talk about things that's documented, but things happen. Nobody documented the time the cop put a gun in my face at 10 years old. That wasn't documented. That wasn't on the news. So you can talk about numbers and statistics, but some of that shit get lost in the shuffle. But at the end of the day, y'all, man, I think this country is I feel like it is getting better. And when I see the support of people out there fighting for other people, that's love. Cause I'll fight for you. I'll fight for Severio. I know I would.
I know you would too.
So, you know, I mean, he been through hell and back with shit. He had some, you know, I don't know. I don't want to get into I don't want to tell your business or anything. I mean, you know, a black man took his father's life. Someone that he thought that he can trust. Someone who was in his place of business, and that's fucking bullshit. And it's wrong. But that doesn't mean, you know, that make, you know, he look at me differently. And we can't look at each other like that. You can't look at somebody and say, okay, well, this person is what it is. You can't look at a cop and say, yo, fuck all police. I mean, there's some cops that's out there that's trying. My uncle is a cop. He'll get in your face, but he's trying to do his job. And he's a cop in Memphis. The motherfuckers are grimy out there. This shit is tough, man. So we gotta figure it out, man. I ain't want to get emotional on this stuff, but you just gotta get better. Look at those layers and look at that mirror, and go take it from there. All right. So y'all be safe and be good, and just try to love one another.
All right, man. I appreciate you doing this, brother.
All right, man.
All right,
Thank you.
All right, no problem. Have a good one.
Thank you. See you when you're in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I'll bring
All right.
you to events, Chris.
All right.
I'll go out somewhere.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.
Peace. Love you, man.
Love you too, man.